Transparency Treasures. It's Angel and Cynthia Protero. She is going to be speaking March 17th at 4 p.m. Pacific. But before we dive into what she's going to share, I just want to highlight our last session with Janet Petrie. Don't you just love her? Isn't she so sweet? What an incredible story of vision and faith. It is free to dream. We should not ever stifle our dreams. You know, the graveyard is full of dead dreams, people who didn't pursue them and move forward with the Lord in their pursuits, and they just got stuck wherever they were. I hope that was an encouraging story for you that Janet shared. And now I want to dive in with Cynthia. She's going to be bringing a different sort of topic than what we've had so far. You all have heard me teach about the ecclesia. For so long, that's been misunderstood that the church is a place that you go in a building where you sing songs and raise your hand and you hear a teaching and then you go home. The ecclesia is actually the public square. It is where the elders of this town, the city, the village would come together. They would make influential decisions about their community. When the church left the ecclesia, we basically turned that over to the world. You can go back through history that traces where the church kept withdrawing. They withdrew from education, entertainment, the government, that gave a free pass to ungodly people to come in and influence our laws, our judicial system in a way that is ungodly. And now we're seeing the culmination of that in a way that is frightening. So Cynthia, what is it on your heart that you want to drive home?
My whole battle right now is educating people to think. What are you passionate about when it comes to your society, your family, getting God back into schools? For me right now, my passion is judges. To know who the judges are that you're voting for. There are criminals out on the street, and my son's murderer was one of them. He should have never been out of jail. He had a history of violent crimes and warrants for his arrest. And why was he out on the street? Because a judge let him out. Now here we have violent crimes going on all around our country. These people should not be on the street. And I could go into an entire dissertation as to why, but that's what makes me passionate now, is to make sure that the judges that you are voting for believe in what you believe in. So my quest for you is to learn the judges, learn your candidates, go meet them. You have the right and you have the obligation to God to meet these people that you're voting for. Because if you're voting, you got to know who you're voting for. Go meet these candidates, the ones that are in your district, the ones that are running for your governor. Your sheriff is very important as well, by the way. I am going to expand on this, and I'm not making this political because we all have the right to choose, but I choose God.
We have the right to protect ourselves. We have the right to institute laws for protection. God instituted a system of law that was not just for protection, but it was fair and it was just. And it was so fair and so just that no one had ever seen anything like it. It was fair and just to women. It was fair and just to children. It was fair and just to the unborn. We have that right here in America, especially, to be protected. God is our protector, and he's the one who's granted us that right. If he is a protector, he wants us protected. One of the most dangerous things that ever happened in history was this whole notion of the separation of church and state. Separation of church and state wasn't because the church couldn't be involved in politics. It couldn't be involved in government. What that was is that a sovereign national religion could not be established as the only religion that you were allowed to practice, because that's what was happening in the Church of England. They were establishing and then persecuting people who were not Catholic or people who were not Protestant. We do, as Cynthia said, have the obligation and the right to be involved and influence what is happening in our nation. Because if we don't, we're going to get more and more of what you all have been experiencing. We can and should take action. I'm looking forward to this, Cynthia. I can't wait to hear what else you have to say. I hope everyone will join us on March the 17th at 4 p.m. Pacific.